Picture this: you're walking along a pristine beach in paradise when you notice something that makes you stop cold. Something's not right. Now imagine that something could save 83 lives. Today, I'm going to tell you a story that will forever change how you see tropical resorts. This is Operation Cadlia, the most complex and challenging rescue mission ever conducted in paradise. This content aims to raise awareness about global human trafficking and highlight the importance of international rescue efforts. What if I told you that behind those Instagram-perfect beaches of the Dominican Republic, a sophisticated criminal network was operating right under everyone's noses? While over 6 million tourists escape to these shores every year, something concerning was unfolding in the shadows. And it makes you wonder, what other secrets are hiding in paradise? Have you ever felt like something was off during your travels? Like there was more happening than what you could see? Keep that feeling in mind as we uncover what really happened here. Before we reveal Operation Cattleya, let me ask you something that will remain important throughout this story. What happened to 20-year-old Sudiksha Konanki? She was a University of Pittsburgh student who disappeared from a Punta Cana beach during a short academic break. One moment she was there, the next, gone. Could she have encountered the same dangers we're about to explore? Is she still out there, somewhere beyond the reach of traditional search efforts? Hold on to that question. Because what you're about to learn might provide some concerning answers. It started when we received some information from the police department. Those words came from Jacob, a Destiny rescue agent whose life was about to change forever. He had no idea that answering that phone call would lead him into the most challenging investigation of his career. Destiny Rescue had built something extraordinary, a relationship with Dominican law enforcement so strong that they became the first call when suspicious activity surfaced. Their team included undercover operatives, former officers, and even a licensed psychologist. But nothing could have prepared them for what they were about to uncover. What should have been a simple 2-day investigation became an 8-month operation. Every time we moved forward, we kept getting more information about more individuals being exploited and more perpetrators involved, Jacob reveals. Can you imagine discovering that your weekend mission might take months, with lives hanging in the balance every single day you delay? This is where the story gets complicated. Because having solid intelligence on criminal cells means nothing if acting too quickly alerts the entire network, causing operations to vanish, taking their victims with them. They called it Operation Cattleya, after a delicate South American orchid. A beautiful name for something requiring such careful precision. But here's what demonstrates the complexity of this operation: the undercover agents had to live alongside the criminals. We would spend days staying at the same hotel where they were keeping the individuals, Jacob recalls, his voice still tense months later. Picture this: you're observing victims being moved with clients throughout the night. You know what's happening. You have the power to stop it. But one premature action could jeopardize the entire operation. Would you have that kind of resolve? To infiltrate these operations knowing that one mistake could compromise dozens of lives? One female agent tracked a lead perpetrator until 6 a.m., revealing another location holding victims. Her determination would ultimately help save dozens of people. But imagine the mental challenges. Then everything changed. 2 young women escaped and sought help. What one survivor revealed would expose the calculated methodology of these criminals, and it was more concerning than anyone anticipated. In Colombia, she had been offered what appeared to be legitimate work in the Dominican Republic service industry. Sound familiar? Desperate to escape economic hardship, she accepted. But what awaited her wasn't opportunity. It was a carefully designed system to control her. She was taken directly to an apartment where criminals made their intentions clear, intimidating her and establishing strict control. The message was simple: comply or face serious consequences. Here's the part that will concern you deeply: she and other victims were given unidentified items to influence their behavior and forced into dangerous and exploitative conditions daily, earning only pennies toward fabricated debts that mysteriously increased over time. A confiscated ledger showed victims earned just $18 per hour of exploitation. $18. for having their dignity and freedom taken away. But this survivor, she had something her captors didn't expect. Extraordinary courage. Instead of taking the items given to her, she hid them and later put them in the guard's drink, reports an agent. When the guard became unconscious, she escaped, bringing another victim with her. This is the moment that changed everything. Her testimony mentioned a hotel name that investigators instantly recognized, another piece of the growing Cattleya puzzle. She had unwittingly exposed a vast criminal ring that distributed women throughout the country like commodities. But as the investigation expanded, tensions between agencies reached a critical point. Prosecutors needed comprehensive evidence to ensure convictions. Destiny Rescue's priority was clear: free the victims immediately. It just kept getting bigger, with more locations part of this network, explains Lucas, the project leader. There were moments when we questioned whether it would ever happen. Have you ever faced a situation where doing the right thing seemed impossible? Where every choice felt wrong? Eventually, Lucas made the hardest decision of his career: we will fund the raid when it happens, but we are not continuing to fund these investigations. The ultimatum that would change everything. Less than a month later, at 8 p.m. one evening in August, the call finally came: be here tomorrow at 2 a.m. After 8 challenging months of undercover work, they would join over 250 officers in a massive operation across 11 different locations simultaneously. Nothing of this scale had ever been attempted before. Imagine the pressure. One mistake could alert criminals, potentially allowing them to escape with victims. Teams had to approach each site with surgical precision, surrounding houses, discreetly entering hotels. In a remarkable display of coordination, they would breach all 11 locations at the exact same moment. The tension was significant. Would their intelligence be accurate? Would the victims still be there? Their information proved flawless. Officers knew the names, faces, and even preferred locations of every perpetrator. They apprehended each criminal without any violence. But what they found inside was deeply concerning. It was very quiet and troubling, Jacob reflects. I was surprised that there were 22 individuals in the hotel. What I noticed first was the distress and tension on their faces. They had been affected by prolonged exploitation and appeared hopeless. The victims' reactions varied dramatically. Some were frightened, others relieved. Many couldn't believe rescue had finally come. Most victims were from Colombia and Venezuela. Ages 17 to 30. College students needing money for education. Mothers with medical needs or young children. Many had left infants as young as a few months old behind, hoping to provide for them. Who were these people? They were just like you and me, trying to survive and provide for their families. But the mission wasn't complete. Just as agents were finishing their work, intelligence revealed 2 more victims remained in dangerous situations. A full raid was impossible due to their location. What would you do if you knew 2 more lives hung in the balance? Jacob volunteered for one final mission. He would go undercover again, this time posing as someone seeking services. The plan was risky and precise. He arranged to meet both women and drove a predetermined route. As planned, police intercepted the vehicle, pulled Jacob out, handcuffed him, and treated him roughly to maintain his cover. Those 2 survivors will never know that the man they saw being arrested had worked tirelessly for months to secure their freedom. That's the reality of Destiny Rescue's work, heroes who may never be thanked by those they save. 83 victims rescued. 14 arrests. An unprecedented success. Most had been in the Dominican Republic less than a year, demonstrating the rapid turnover in these criminal operations. All were recruited through friends who promised opportunities. Once ensnared, they faced not just exploitation but psychological and emotional manipulation. Many were given unidentified items with clients, deepening their dependency on their captors. The operation required unprecedented collaboration between 6 different agencies, PETT, the Special Division for the Investigation of Transnational Crimes, the Department of Criminal Activities of the National Police, Homeland Security Investigations, SWAT, and the Anti-Crime Bureau. When examining cases like Operation Cadlia, we naturally wonder about other mysteries on these shores. Could Sudiksha Konanki have encountered similar dangers during her brief moment alone? Dr. Elena Vasquez, a travel safety specialist, notes, even visitors at luxury resorts can face unexpected situations during moments of separation from their group. The geography of island destinations creates particularly challenging conditions for locating missing persons. Carlos Mendez, a regional safety expert explains, the window for locating individuals is extraordinarily narrow. Within 24 to 48 hours, people can be moved multiple times, crossing boundaries that exponentially complicate investigation efforts. What happens to survivors after rescue? Many face serious challenges, health issues, psychological dependency, and physical injuries. Many encounter difficulty returning to their home countries due to lingering threats and cultural stigma. As one victim service coordinator stated, "I wanted to say thank you, really thank you so much for your support in confronting this serious crime." Operation Cattleya exposes the stark contrast between paradise on postcards and the complex realities beneath. While millions enjoy these beautiful destinations without incident, understanding these operations helps us recognize why awareness matters everywhere, even in paradise. As tourists spread their towels on these beaches, largely unaware of what happened there, I want to ask you something. What would you do if you spotted something suspicious in paradise? Could Sudiksha still be out there somewhere? Operations like Cattleya give us both hope and concern, hope that sophisticated rescue networks exist, but concern about how quickly victims can disappear into complex criminal systems designed to hide them in plain sight. The fight continues. But now, you know what lies beneath paradise's surface. For the victims, for those still missing like Sudiksha, and for every traveler who visits these shores, stories like Operation Cattleya deserve to be told. They remind us that behind every statistic is a human being with a story, and that vigilance, even in paradise, can make the difference between life and death. What will you do with this knowledge?
If you enjoy deep dives into true crime, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Until next time, friends!